I would like to show you a magic circle. So we start off as normal, bringing the tail across the working yarn in the front, and then anchoring that with our hand, doing yarn over and pulling it through. Yarn over, pulling it through. I'm going to do chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me bring that a bit closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4, and then I'm going to count these 3 chain as turning chain, and I'm just going to wiggle this hole a little bit bigger, this very first chain that I did. Just pull that out, make it a little bit looser. It's probably too loose, but that's all right for showing you. So these first three I've left at a good tension, and then I've pulled this one open a bit just so it makes it easier to work with. And then I'm going to do double, well, whatever your pattern requires, but I'm going to do double. Double's a pretty basic standard stitch, and I'm just going to do a couple, maybe I'll do 3. Oops, I lost that guy. Bring him back on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter, just make it a bit smaller. I'm going to pull the tail around and incorporate it in what I'm doing. So now I've got a couple of stitches I can hold on to. It does make it a little bit easier. So just doing, it might say do 14, it might say do 20, it just depends on your pattern, and the number that you have to do will depend on how big you make that first loop for you to work in. And it's an idea to make it a little bit bigger than you think at the start, because it's harder to make it bigger once you've started going. So I haven't really counted how many I'm doing. I'm just doing the stitches as I waffle on here. So this is really good to do if you're making toys or a beanie or anything where you don't want to have an initial hole, because often what it says is chain 4 and then join the chain to the, do a slip stitch to join the 2 chains, first chain and final chain together to make a ring, and then you work in the ring, which is what this would essentially be doing here. But you end up with a hole like that, which isn't necessarily what you always want. So the idea of that, I'm just going to join these together now with a slip stitch. So slip stitch, I'm not doing yarn over first. I'm just going through like that, pulling my thread through, and then instead of doing a stitch, I'm just pulling that through again as well. So just a wee slip stitch. And then this hole here, this tail here, we make it disappear. So pull it nice and tight, and voila. And that's what's called a magic ring. So I love that one. It's really good, like I said, making hats, toys, anything where you don't want to have the fingers of gloves, if you're doing gloves and things like that. Yeah. Just be sure that you keep your tail and the loop separate. You'll see what I mean when you're going, that you're always going in the same spot and not muddling up your tail and your loop. But let me know if you have any questions and have a play with that one. It's a really good technique.